Good morning. Let's finish side dressing today. This tank is empty. We finished it up last night. We got, what did we figure, 75 acres, something like that to do. Phil, I believe, is getting me a tank. At least the one that was here that's empty is gone, so I'm going to assume that's what he's doing. We're going to get this one unhooked, wait for him to get back. We've got 30 acres down the road. A full tank will do that, so we're going to go and do that, and then we'll come back and finish in the field we were in yesterday. Phil dropped us a tank here at the field, so we came over. We're just going to hook onto this. We're actually going to go to a different field because I've got 30 or 31 acres to do down the road, and one full tank will do it. So I don't want to head down there with a partial tank because then Phil will have to drag a tank all the way down there, and it's just easier if I go and do it in one shot. So we'll do that, and we'll come here and finish this up when we get that one done. Last day. Let's go. Let's go. Everything except for that row is working really well, and I have checked that row over and over and can't figure out what the heck is different about it. Everything's just flat wore out. We just need to put all new wear parts on here, openers, boots, beaver tails, closing discs, all of it. And that's what we're gonna do as soon as we're done. Okay, we are just about finishing up with this big field here. This is our farm with the two little triangle fields that we've got to do along the road there yet, the acre-and-a-half triangles. So we'll go mess with those. We got plenty of gas left in the tank, so that should be no problem. And then we'll go back and finish that last field that we were in last night. Here's our little triangle. Section control is a beautiful thing. Man, we had her dialed in too. So you'll notice the one row overlaps. That's because the outside two are paired together. And then every other row shuts off exactly on that outside row of the planter. That's awesome. Oh, I love seeing that. I think I may have run over more corn than I side dressed in these little triangles. But whatever, they're done. So, let's go back to our other field and finish that last 40 acres. Almost there. Back into our field with our replant corn. We've got, what do we got? 2 rounds here to do. And then this over here. Shouldn't take too horribly long. We've got 2 more full tanks. That's plenty of anhydrous to finish. We'll get this done. Just got off the phone with my sister, Anna. She is finishing up her first week out at the new job in Iowa there, and sounds like she's had a pretty good week getting some of the administrative stuff done and taken care of, but also had a big meeting with her boss and his people that he manages, and all of their sales reps, they call them out there, but they'd be more like dealers, like I would, like me, people that sell their seed. And got to meet a lot of people. She's been on some field calls, got to meet some high profiles people out there on some sales calls with some cover crops and other stuff, or service calls, I guess they would be. So she's doing well. Done. Okay, I'm sitting in the seat. He's yelling at me because I leaned back and I didn't hit on the seat sensor. Anyway, the only thing I'm still debating is what do I do with some of this stuff that we screwed up the other day, especially my plot. I'm considering going back through the plot. I'm not going to do it right this minute, but we might yet. I don't know. We'll see. Back to the farm, and I think Dad and I are going to go get our combine. Well, I decided to just go over this plot again. I was really debating it, trying to figure out what other options would be. So I set the bar down a little bit as far as rate. We're going to be putting 140 on. I put 185 the first time. If you missed yesterday's video, I figured out that our bar had some rows plugged. I was having all kinds of trouble with different things. Yeah, it was due to plugged rows, and it basically, I got the right amount of nitrogen on, but I did not get a uniform application. So some rows got way too much, some rows didn't get any, and I'm going back through to give them some. If this field wasn't the one between my farm and my house and my plot and where I have to look at it every single day, I probably wouldn't do this right now. I would see what other kind of rescue treatment we can do later. But I have to look at this one every day. I'm going to make it look good. So we're going to put a little more nitrogen on it. All right, well, I got through all the plot stuff. I can see where we burnt the cramp out of this corn turning on the ends. It's gonna be ugly. This fence gonna turn real ugly. Dumb mistakes. Anyway, one last thing that we're gonna do before we go and park this and unhook our tank is go close all of the valves and run a pass up on these ends with the valves closed just to bleed everything out. I don't want any gas left in the bar. So we're gonna make it empty. So we're gonna, like I said, close the tank valves and then open everything up. We'll run it in the ground, and then when we get done, we should be able to open the bleeders, and there should be very little left. You see the toasty-looking corn down there? It's where we turned on the ends, and we had all that pressure bleeding off. It was taking so long, and it burnt the corn. Right there's another spot. Yeah, hard to see from up here. I can tell. We'll go look at it sometime, even though I don't want to. All right, there's a big job done. Finally, out of the way. Most of it went really well. We just had one day there that things were not working well, and was tough. So the bar needs to be cleaned thoroughly, very thoroughly, and totally rebuilt. So we're gonna get new blades, new boots, new beaver tails, probably new liquid tubes, and new closing discs. So this will be like whole new openers next year when we start. And we're gonna get this cleaned up, done next week, hopefully, and put away. And then we gotta get the corn planter hooked back up and power washed and cleaned up and get that tucked away. So we're just gonna park this back here for right now. Let them, I got the bleed valves open so that it bleeds off and clears itself out, so there's no anhydrous left in anything, and it's safer to work on. Yeah, Dad's not here right now, but when I see him, it's lunchtime. Maybe I'll go get some food, and then hopefully he'll be here and we can go get our combine. Yeah. Dad and I are going up to get the combine, but he's been working on a project here this morning I wanted to show you guys. This is a really cool thing that I wish we would have had in place earlier, but we're getting it now. That's all right. All right, so we tiled this field last year. Now, this field is one of our flatter ones. There's not a ton of grade. Yeah, retiled. We had more tile here before. But we put this control structure in here. So the outlet is right here. So all of the tile in this field, or most of them, come right here. There's a main right here that's an 8-inch main. Yep. And it goes into the ditch over here. Right. And so we put this control structure in there. So what it is our tile comes in from that side, and then it outlets that way, but we have these gates in the middle here, and we can take them in and put them in and take them out to control the water level. So Dad's gonna pull one here.
There's 3 of them.
Oh, shouldn't have touched that.
Yeah, it's got grease on it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was on the top. Anyway, but that will seal against the center there and block the water, essentially keeping it in the field side, and so we can add or remove those as necessary. And like right now, where we're dry, we want to keep as much water in the field as possible. And so we put those gates in there, and it prevents it from coming out the end of the outlet in the tile, and we'll hold it into the field. Now, we're probably too dry for it to do much this year, but essentially we can have those out, take them out of there so that it will drain in the spring when we need it to be dry so we can do our field work, or in the fall when we're trying to harvest and we want to get rid of the excess water. And then as soon as we're done planting and side dressing or spraying or whatever, and we want to hold the water into the field and we don't have excess, it's starting to get dry, we can put those gates in there, stop the flow, hold that water into the field, and hopefully raise the water table enough that our corn roots can get down to it. Should work. It's going to work, he says.
Inch tile.
So there is still some water flowing out of the tile, which is amazing. I don't know how that's happening right now.
Because we're down in the river ground.
Yeah.
The sands and gravel's underneath.
The debate we've been having is whether or not it would be worth it to set a pump in the river and pump it into that control structure on the field side. Try and put water back into the field.
A week from today, when it's 90 degrees out and the corn's rolling, we'll be pumping.
I mean, we're not going to put the irrigation pump there. It'll never handle it. You'll just overrun it. But a 2 or 3 inch pump sitting there and just let it run, maybe. I don't know if you could pump enough water in there to make a difference. If we had that in place and started where we could have raised the water, 2 foot above the bottom of the tile there, then maybe we could keep up. I don't know.
I don't think we're behind. I think it'd work if we could get the water in there.
I think we're behind. Hello there, old friend. I haven't seen you for a while. Oh, yeah. The service manager is not here today, but I will call him and figure out exactly what they did to this. I do know that our unloading auger stuff got replaced. I'll show you when we get it home. This combine has been up here at the dealer for a very long time. It was, I don't know, end of December or January when we brought it up here, and they were waiting on parts, and I just said, well, you guys store it for me. That's great. So that is what they did. Nice tractor. Look at that. 9RX 640. Whoa. Nice. Whoa, 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 whoa. I get back to used to driving a combine here. All right. I thought that one was ours when I pulled in. I'm like, oh, it's 780 with a power folding arm. I'm pretty sure that one's brand new. That's a nice machine. We made it. We're gonna see if we can get this in the new part of the barn back there, and yeah. I don't think we have much, if anything, we need to actually do to the combine to get ready for wheat harvest. We did all of that last winter before we took it up there. We do need to get the bean head out, put new knives on that or a cutter bar. So that will be something that gets done here in a week or two. But we're going to worry about getting the anhydrous applicator and the corn planter cleaned up and put away before we worry too much about the combine and getting ready for wheat harvest, which is, I'm guessing, 2.5 weeks out, maybe 3, something like that. Where are we going to put it? We're going to have to pull that out, try and get the combine in the corner, and then put the planter straight in here. So probably could unhook the scraper over there. That would tuck this tractor back in the corner a little better, but we'll get it. Combine's in, planter's in. I even put the 4020 in. That's about the most equipment we've had in this barn in a while. 4 tractors, combine, big grain cart, the boss. Yeah. All right. Oh, I should close the door. We're done in here. Okay. Well, that was it for the day, and I didn't wrap it up. So here we are. We're having a nice little bonfire. Boys out here. Happy Father's Day weekend, everybody. Especially to my dad, all you other dads out there, and hope you have a good time, relax. We're taking a weekend off. Got a big dinner thing going on at my parents' tomorrow, and then, I don't know, maybe we're going to the lake on Sunday. We'll see. What are we going to do this weekend, boys? Well, what are you guys doing tomorrow?
Going to the zoo.
Going to the zoo with Mom. Yep. So, have a great weekend. We'll see you later.